Yes, we are in the middle of an extremely very big mess. Extremely very. That's excellent English grammar right there. We are in the middle of a very, very big mess. And I love it. Wouldn't change a thing. So I got a few things to talk about. I'm going to make them quick, hopefully. So here we are. The gear train has been tested and not too bad. And well, I'll show you. So here's the train controller, and okay, I turned the wrong way. Here's the train controller, and that's gonna be controlled by the RACX later. So the door goes up. You can see it coming up here, and the rack just keeps on moving on back. The door goes all the way up. That's where it stops. It's got a built-in delimiter or stop, and then another motor will take place and push the thing out. So we're going to stop that, and notice how it just keeps on spinning without breaking anything, which is fantastic. And then the door goes down. Again, turn it the wrong way. Train controller. I think I've changed the wires around so it wouldn't do that. So not too shabby. The door goes down. I love these doors, by the way. I'm a big fan of these doors. I don't know. I've had these doors for about 11, 12, 15 years now. That design. And it works well. But what I really came to talk about is what happens in these things is that you forget. And I mentioned in the other video that this used to be 2 modules. And the demarc was right here. This was the split right there at the base plate. So there's a 32 by 32 here and a 32 by 32 here. And I had one point decided to combine these two, just like the 2 that are here and the 2 that would be on that end. And of course, then there's the one that goes in the front, which is behind us because I've worked on that already. So there's, instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 separate modules or whatever pieces, it is now 1, 2, 3, 4, which makes it easier to set up, and they're stronger when they're together because I could build these towers, these supports in one piece, because there used to be a split right down the middle, which makes it very, very thin, like this guy here. Right. So it made it stronger, made it better, made it faster. We have the technology to rebuild them. But I always forget that it was 2 modules. And I mentioned that it was 2 modules. And I realized that when I looked over and I said, why do I have those blue axle pins sitting there on the edge of that? And those blue axle pins were to align with that black Technic, 2 Technic bricks, because it would just go in like that when you put them together. I didn't remove those. When I put these 2 and I rebuilt these 2 together, I left that. And I'm going, why in everything that's great and wonderful, not just put, I'm going to change those to friction pins just to make it stronger. Like, that's not strong at all. So I thought, wow, that's just what we call an artifact. And also that broken piece there. That's what we call an artifact of a previous build iteration. And I was looking over and I go, oh, right, that's what I did. So they would line up and push in and the thing would just be perfect. So it's what happens when you continuously rebuild a module, a layout, whatever. These things kind of creep in there and you kind of forget about them. That's got to be, I don't know how long, that's well over a decade. Things have been there and completely forgotten. So yeah, I thought I'd share that. And of course, this thing, I disconnect all the wires. This thing goes right up here like that. Not necessarily loose. I have to lock it down, but it's with that, and then you got the round here at the front, and all the lighting. You can see all the Rob Hendricks life lights in there, all wired up. I'm gonna have to test all the wiring when I'm done, but I'm doing it one level. As soon as it's like, we're not that far from this being fully put back together and a whole bunch of missing pieces here. I have to retile the walkways and then reset all my minifigs that are standing around watching ships get fixed. So again, in universe, These people have to move around. They have to be doing something. They have to be warned that they might get their feet pinched. I mean, I have a safety department. So when this thing comes up, you can see it coming up. See the rack over here. I have it tucked right into there. That was not so much fun, but I had to do it because I had to come into this module here by 4 studs, and then it stops right there. Ta-da! And I won't go any farther. So this is, you know, the warning to the minifigs not to put your feet in there because you'll get pinched if the door is raising. Things I do. I'm slightly disappointed because I tested this thing thoroughly. I did everything I was supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. And I should have done it one more stud because the door is hanging pretty low. I wasn't expecting that. I honestly don't know how I missed that, but it still has clearance for the ship to come out. And the ship would usually push out like this. Let me, right? And then it goes back in, and the door comes back down. And that is the entirety of this little module here. I do like the cricket cut that I covered over I believe it's the green lines that come in the space plate. I covered it with the yellow tape. I had our cricket cut that out for that. And this is the right thickness to cover over the other thing. I like that. And I like when you look at the top, the yellow tiles there are in this basically the same angle as the wings, so people know that they're stepping onto the ship when they're fixing the ship. I got that from an old video I watched of when they were building 747s and they bring it into the hangar and they have that huge platform and the 747 goes right up and kind of tucks into the whole platform, and so there's zero space they can slip through while they're fixing it and repairing it. I always thought that was cool, so that's exactly why I added that little yellow strip on the spaceship. I wasn't going to do a Galaxy Explorer to come in here, by the way. The Galaxy Explorer is way too big and I would not have any room across here for a door and stuff. So a Galaxy Explorer did not make it the cut for being in a repair bay. Now you can bring a 918 in here, piece of cake. But the biggest you can put in here is a 924. And that's why I had an exterior gantry at some of our layouts before. And then see, look at that. I think that's an awesome shot. Although I can see over here, where's my finger? Here's my finger. I got some pressing of bricks together. You can see through the bricks over there. So I'm almost fully back together with this thing. I'm going to do a little more work tonight, and then I'm going to call it a night. But I thought I'd catch you up. So everybody out there, stay safe, take care, and I will talk to you soon.